Hi guys, it's Uga and welcome back to another video, and today I'll show you my TBR for the month of November, which is a little bit a chaos mixed with huge mix with something that I will regret very soon, but let's go with it. I'm hosting a readathon, the Descendathon. I'll link up here the announcement if you don't know, and if you want to participate. It's a monthly readathon, and yeah, then I'm participating on Netgalley November by Kathy, 4 Pawns and Books, the Word Nerd, and the other Christine who reads. Then I also going on the readathon, readalong, 1 week to read going Postal from Terry Pratchett, and this one is organized by Gunpowder Fiction and Plot, Katia and Rosie. Channels are down below. And the last, I'm also participating on the GoTathon, inspired by the Game of Thrones, and this is hosted by Robin Reads, Mystic Pages, and Brookmark Chronicles. So 2 readathons, 1 readalong, 1 bingo readathon for Netgalley. You see, I hosting one. Yeah, it's gonna be a good month, and then I have other reads. Let's start with, let's start with Going Postal because it's just 1 book. So, as I said before, Gunpowder Fiction and Plot, Katia and Rosie, the channels are down below, are hosting a readathon, a read-along for reading Going Postal from Terry Pratchett. This goes on the November 12th to November 19. And yeah, just reading that specific book from Discworld that they all really enjoy. I never read any Discworld book. I don't know if I'm gonna like it, but I'm jumping it. It's my opportunity to read a Discworld book. Let's go. What can go wrong, right? I just have more 8 books in the TBR, but you spend that week focus on that one. You can start earlier if you need more time. It's a very open read. Just they're gonna have a live discussion, I think, on the 19th or after that. So it's good to have the book due to that date so you can participate. I think it's gonna be interesting. I don't know what's gonna be about. Do I want to know? No, I want to go blind. So let's go blind. But yeah, this is one of the reads of the month. It's Going Postal, and it's for this read along. Then let's start with the readathon. Let's start for the Descendathon, the one that I'm hosting. We have 4 prompts. I'm on the Heroes Oradon Kids team, so I have to read a retelling, pretty cover that you think you won't like, which is pretty hard if you try to think that. The easy part of the pretty cover is simple, but then you don't like, it's very hard to find sometimes. Then we have the underrated book and the book with a musical setting, or with based on a musical, something with music. So something with music, it's our group read, so you can use that one for the prompt. And it's Stay Gold by Toblis McSmith. This is a LGBTQIA plus story, and it's about a transgender boy and a cisgender girl. It's about this love between those two, but it's also, from I heard from other reviewers and from other discussions, it's not a dark, but it's not those books that it just everything is very beautiful, it's very pink. No, it's a book that it says some harsh topics, it has some harsh discussions, and can be sometimes very heavy in some contents. So I'm really excited. I bought it in the last haul, I think I talked about it. I bought it in Kindle, so I'm really excited to read this. It's not pretty long, but for this TBR it's kind of long. But I'm really excited to read it. Let's go for the retelling, and for the retelling I have Little Thieves by Margaret Owen. This is a new release. It was released on October 19. I got an arc on Netgalley. I think it was even after the book was released or something, because I was browsing to Netgalley UK and I saw it was the same publisher that sent me the Jodie book, and I was like, let's request it, and they sent me. I was like, oh my god, this is so cool, I want this book so much. It was on my anticipated releases. If you saw that video, it's Goose Girl retelling. So I never read the Goose Girl, but the book sounds really interesting. The blurb, the first line says, once upon a time there was a horrible girl. That grabs you a lot of your attention, right? So we have our main protagonist, which is Vaja, who is the daughter of the goddess of death and fortune, adopted, and she made a long way into the world to be the desolate servant of Princess Giselle. until a year ago when the elderly mother demands payment for her care and Vaja decides to steal her future back by stealing Giselle's life. So you see, because there's the part where it say a gift is never free, even mother's love. So you see, it's very interesting. With the help of enchantment strings of pearls, Vaja transformed into her former mistress and took her place, leaving the real Giselle a penniless nobody. Now Vaja leads a lonely but lucrative double life as a princess and a jewel thief, charming the nobility while emptying their coffins to fund her great escape. Until, one heist away from freedom, Vaja crosses the wrong god and is cursed to turn into Jewel, stone by stone. Ooh, sounds very interesting, right? With a feral guardian half-god, Giselle's sinister fiancé, and an overage junior detective on her tail, Vaja has just 2 weeks to pull off her biggest grief yet, or she risks losing more than her freedom. She could lose her life. Sounds awesome, you know? I want to see if you get more from Giselle, because from the blood seems only focused on Vaja, but I will be interesting very much to go and also see how Giselle is gonna live penniless and why she doesn't take her life back. That will be very interesting. But yeah, I'm really excited, and yeah, this is my retelling for the readathon. Then we have a book that has a pretty cover, but you think you won't like, and for that I chose The Language of Spears by DeAndre August. This is also an art that I got on Netgalley. It's and the reason I love the cover. The cover is I think it's simple but stunning. You know, the green and the gold, I think it conjures very well. Why do I think I don't like it? It's because when I was searching on Goodreads for the size to see how big was a TBR and how many pages do I have to read per day, I saw that it has a very small, it's a very short book, and I was like, a fantasy that is short. I have problems with that because usually they tend to be just a lot of telling instead of showing, and I can have trouble with that. But let's see what the book is about. Can the kingdoms whose supremacy thrives on a tradition of war really learn peace? So we have here an empire, the Moon Empire, who is built, like I said, on blood and ashes. And for once the king of Far New Way decided that it's time to cease wars, decides to stop being so military, so bloody. They forced to diverge from the martial traditions and adopt a peaceful lifestyle. But not everyone is very happy with that, especially because a lot of people live on that regime, but also because there is another empire, the New Easter Kingdom, who is rapid descent of a false king who his ambition may cause a war, so they are very scared that for that being peaceful they don't have an army prepared. And then you have a mysterious mercenary known as the Cat who appears in town, so the false king starts to get more form in the mind of the people. So our main character, who is Emnai, who is I think who is like a soldier or something, or a general, sees that, or he accepts the way of the new king and he can doom the empire, or he disobeys the king and try to protect his home. I think it's going to be very interesting in that part. This is the start of the series, so I'm not so scared because it's the start, so we can be small, just like a setting novel and then set for other books. I'm very excited. It's an African fantasy series, which is also very interesting. But yeah, I'm really excited, and this is the pick for a pretty cover that you think you won't like. Then I have for Jane the underrated book, and for that I chose The Ruins of Stone Hill by F.P. Spirit. This is the first book on the Heroes of Ravenford series. This was published in 2014 and it was available on Amazon, and it's like what you get when you mix an awesome wizard, a reckless hero, a sharp-tongued thief, and a saint cleric. Swords, sorcery, and sarcasm. That's all I need, you know. It's gonna be those fun stories. Well, everyone is different, but what really conquers me here was the sarcasm. I love sarcasm on books, especially when it's well made. It makes the story sometimes so you go like, oh my god, but you're laughing and you're feeling that, but you're like, oh, come on, it's not the time for that. But it was funny. So Glolindir, this name is weird. Glolindir. I think he's the wizard. He thought he knew about magic, but when he comes to defeat his first monster, he's in trouble. So he's saved by this warrior, the thief, and the Saint Clair, which is a dwarf. It's a gnome, sorry. He's saved by this team. But that's only the beginning of their problems. The monsters are rising. It's happening on the little town of Ravenwood, and before they know it, they are up to their necks in monsters and worse. So you see, this is a fun adventure magic with for Lord of Rings and Dungeons and Dragons, so I think it can be based on Dungeons and Dragons, like a little bit like Dragonlance series. I thought it will be interesting, and I think I never saw anyone talk about it, and just the cover sounds cool. So this is the Descendathon. So I have Little Thieves for a retelling, Stay Gold for the music, The Ruins of Stonehill for the underrated one, and the Legend of the Language of Spears for the pretty cover that you think you won't like. We move to another readathon, and this one is the Goth readathon, based on the Game of Thrones. The hosts make an amazing job. They have a full website explaining all the lore, all the story, so it's an origin story for your character, and I will skip that ahead because I will not spend here time telling you everything. So you have that, you have a full website for the readathon, so you can see, search and read. It's amazing. You will lose some time there, but it's very well done. I think it was a ton of work, very well done. So you have typically a prompt. There is a crossroads. It is the beginning of the readathon, and then you have the paths. You have the King's Landing path, the Targaryen path, the Lannister path, and the Stark path. Each one has 2 prompts, and then you can choose that path to make your origin story. So the crossroads in prompt is read an anticipated book, and for that I chose Little Thieves. I already talked about it. It was on my anticipated book releases, so I'm very excited to read that, and that fits the prompt, so I'm very happy. Then I choose the King's Landing path, more or less because it was convenient, but also who doesn't want to be a king? Unless he's like in Game of Thrones, because he will end up dead. But I won't, because I will have dragons in some way. Have dragons or something that will help me. So the first is you feel excitement as you spot the gates of the massive city. Read a 5-star prediction. I had to search my only video for 5-star predictions. I have to do more for this, because if this sponsor appears more time, I'll need to have more 5-star predictions. And I was thinking that I already read 2, which was Missing Pieces, and another one which I don't recall, but I read 2 because I had Mythos, I had What Lies Between Us, and I had Coco Chanel. I don't have What Lies Between Us. I think I would love it because everything of that book sounds cool, but I haven't bought it yet. Mythos is kind of big, so I went with Mademoiselle Chanel by C.W. Gortner, which is historical fiction based on the story life of Coco Chanel. I don't know if it goes from her childhood or if it starts in her teens, but we'll go with her life from the beginning to end. We know Coco Chanel is a very interesting character for her time, not only for what she achieved as a woman. I think it's very interesting to see how she's gonna play this. This is how the author play with the story and how everything's go. If he will focus more on her journey to be the stylist and everything about fashion, or more into her other life. But yeah, I'm very excited to this one, and it was one of my and it was on my 5-star prediction video, so I'm excited to read it. And the second prompt is you are admitted after a few days to see the king. As you enter, you see the legendary Iron Throne. Read a book about or featuring royalty, and for that I decided to pick another Netgalley arc, and it's Jetfire's Gold by June C.L. Tan. This book is going to be released this month of November, and I'm really excited. It was on my anticipated releases. I got also an arc from the same publisher, from Little Thieves and Jody, so I'm very excited. Her Destiny, His Revenge, and it's about a lost heir who's trying to regain his throne, and a girl who's trying to get her destiny. I has the royalty that I needed. She has some little magic ability. She wants to unlock her path, but they may have to pay a far deadly price than either could have imagined. So it sounds very cool. I don't know if I think this is going to be like a series. So I'm starting some series, which is not good. But if it's not a series, it's good because it ends here. But if it's a series, it's going to be released like only next year, maybe 2 years, so it's cool. It's not a series that I have pressure to read now, but I'm excited because, oh my god, this book sounds so cool, and I was so excited to receive this arc. So yeah, I'm really excited to read this one. These arcs that I chose are amazing, right? So, and this fulfills my GoTathon participation. I hope you go see it also because it sounds really cool. If you still need more readathons in November, because I think you all need a lot of readathons in November, I think you will find. Then we have, as I told you, Katie 4 Pounds in Books, the the Word Nerd and the other Christine who reads are doing the Netgalley November, which is usually a Netgalley a November thing to read arcs to try to increase a little bit of our ratios and our just to try to motivate us to read more arcs, because then we request more than we can read and we have a lot of arcs to unread, which is not cool. But yeah, and they make a whole bingo board that you can choose. You have the oldest book, a book in a series, an audiobook, a book request because of the cover, a read now book, character you can read. You have a lot. You can do a bingo. I try to make a bingo. So I have the second column, which is anticipated releases, a book in a series, an author you haven't read before, and a character you relate to. So the Language of Spears and The Ruins on Stone Hill can go for a book in a series. A highly anticipated release can either go to anticipated or an author that you never read. The same thing with relative. So these all three are very shifty because each one of them can be there on an anticipated book or authors that I haven't read, because I haven't read any of these four authors. So that's cool with it. And then you have the fourth, which is a character you will relate to. I have to read the book, so I don't know if I can find that. But I think so. In 4 books, if I don't relate to any character, it's gonna be bad. So I think I'm very excited. I will do a bingo! Or a line, because it's not a bingo, it's a line. But I'll do a line, it's not bad. So yeah, I have 4 books for the Netgalley November. I'm excited because I need really to increase a little bit my status. So yeah, I'm excited. So yeah, these are my readathons, my read-alongs, everything that I'm participating. But then I have 2 more books that I need to read, and it's Nine Helms and Shadow Sands by Robert Brinza. This is the author that he make like a 6 series books that has a blue cover in usually, at least in Portugal. And yeah, this is his new series. I got this one as a gift, and I think I got also this as a gift. No, this was a giveaway. This was a gift from readathon that I got. But yeah, so I have to read this too, because next month it's gonna be released the 3rd, and I got an arc on Netgalley. Why did I request it? I don't know, but that motivated me to read these too. So if that arc motivates me to read 2 of my physical books, I think it's a good choice, right? But I have to read these 2. In total, I have more than 3,000 pages to read this month, which gives an average of 106 pages per day. Do I think I'm gonna manage? No. Do I will try? Yes. What will be my focus? Everything. I think I will tackle the books that are faster. I don't know, depends on the mood. I'm a mood reader, and that sucks because I never know what the mood's gonna be for me, and I never know what I'm gonna to read. So yeah, these are all the books that I plan to read this month. Tell me in the comments which are your reads. How big is your TBR? How many readathons are you participating? Are you participating on Descendathon? I would love to hear that. If you reach this far, don't forget to leave a comment, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell to be notified each time that I post a video. If you don't want to leave a comment, just leave an emoji, leave something just saying like, I love you, just to know you are here, or I'm here. It's amazing. It's always good to know when people watch our videos. And yeah, I post videos every Tuesday, Thursdays and Saturdays. I have live reading sprints at Fridays 9 PM London time, and I see you guys on my next video. Bye.